4 races into the season, and any driver that has won a race has yet to be beaten. Confused? Let me explain. Mark Usher has raced twice and won them both. Victor Prato's only appearance this season was in the opener, which he won. Last round at Suzuka, Daniel Benefield made his season debut by winning. Usher is 2-0. Prato and Benefield are 1-0. Somebody's O has got to go, and it might just be the raw points leader Xavi Ross, who is ready to give everyone a loss, but the German Thomas Seiger is also fast in practice. From Road America, it's round 5 of the Batteries Not Included 2019 Spring Season Championship, and you can see all the simulated Williams FW31 action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens right here on the Global SimRacing Channel via the iRacing Esports Network. A Badger State, hello and welcome. Up in the booth to bring you our Bird's Eye View, Stefan Slocker, joined by yours truly, Bill Soupson. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is our director, Sean Crackers Ambrose, armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Okay, Stefan, this car track combo has me intrigued. Tell us about Road America.
It shall be my pleasure, Bill. Road America's nickname, America's National Park of Speed, is probably one of the most fitting nicknames ever, and here's why. Laid down into the hills of Wisconsin, surrounded by trees and having pretty much only natural grandstands, it's one of the most beautiful settings there is. 14 turns make up this 4-mile-long track, and even though having long straights, this circuit offers great flow and lots of overtaking opportunities. However, you're not allowed to underestimate this circuit, as it's harsh on tires and relentless on drivers. Mistakes can be costly here, as the walls are not far away from the gray stuff. Setting up the car always is difficult, as here you have to slightly compromise, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, as we will now take you on board a lap around Road America with our GSRC lap guide.
All right, we've got Reed Miller and the GSRC Williams, so let's do a lap around Road America. Because of the huge speeds on the front stretch, you will see some drivers use the draft to try to pass. But trying to outbrake someone into turn 1 might be more difficult than you'd expect, because there just isn't a whole lot of braking. Watch the curbs and grass on the corner exit, then get ready for turn 3. This is a critical corner with it dumping you onto the moraine sweep, so it's important to focus on getting traction coming off of there. Drivers will be eager to take advantage of mistakes, with the heavy braking into 5 offering a great chance to overtake. But the downhill aspect of the entry means it's not uncommon to see someone outbrake themselves and wind up in the runoff. From there, you climb back up towards 6. This crest makes it very difficult to nail your braking, so it tends to generate errors. No time to rest though, because you've got to switch sides for 7. A tiny confidence lift might be needed, and then you'll find yourself in the hurry downs. Occasionally, drivers will try a sneak attack into this tight left-hander, so watch out. Now we transition into the carousel, and it's here you'll notice the unreal downforce of an F1 car. Just a slight lift off the throttle in the middle, and then it's back to full power. This is another spot where a good corner exit can make a huge difference. The notoriously scary kink is easily flat out, so the run through the kettle bottoms becomes effectively one long straight. As you'd expect, Canada Corner is a prime place to try and get a pass done, but you've got to keep your head up in case the car ahead goes defensive late. Quickly, you're face to face with Bill Mitchell Bend, where the car is gonna get light and squirrely over the rise. Then immediately you've got to brake for the final corner. Once again, ensuring you get a good run off the bend is of utmost importance. The pit straight is the longest straight on the track, and any loss of speed will hurt. But hopefully you've now finished a lap around Road America.
Joe Peak having to talk a little faster than normal to take you around Road America, as it does not take long for these FW31s to negotiate a lap here. Let me see if I can take a little time and negotiate you through a lap through the point standings. Let's go ahead and bring those up. Now, you see the two Spaniards up in front, Xavi Ross and Kevin Jimenez. Now, we talked about drop races and what a big factor they're going to play. Keep in mind that none of the drivers you see on, well, let me correct myself. The top 4 drivers have yet to win a race. The two Spaniards, Xavi Ross and Kevin Jimenez, been very consistent. Watch out for Thomas Zeiger. He's really been consistent. Does not have the top finishes like Ross or Jimenez, but boy, he brings the car home right where it needs to be. Tommy Anhola really, surprisingly, has had a messy season so far for him. Usually the fin is really clean, but he's had some incidents. And then you have Mark Usher, only raced twice, and he has both of those wins. Remember, you see up on top of the screen there, those 4 drop races, those are shaded out because we're not taking those to account yet. Once we start taking away drivers' worst performance, the point standings will change considerably. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's give you something more straightforward. Stefan, how about we talk about what we got here, the race details?
Well, sure can do. We're right now on the round 4 of the 12-week series. The batteries not included do follow. It's, by the way, the official iRacing Grand Prix series, so even you can go on the track here if you have a class license on the roadside. 4 drop weeks. The BNI Championship gets race length today, 31 laps. 1 pit stop is required, however. Setups are completely open. Incident cap standard for iRacing 17, and points for this private championship of BNI. They use the official iRacing points.
And there you have it. And of course, you're watching a GSRC broadcast coming your way on the iRacing Esports Network. The best of the best in the iRacing World Championships, as well as many of the top private leagues like the one you're watching right now, are showcased right here on the iRacing Esports Network. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you subscribe. GSRC is proud to be part of the IESN stable of broadcasters. Look at that beautiful Wisconsin sky pushing down on the racetrack. Let's take a quick look at the weather, see how Stefan thinks it's going to play out as they race in the shadows right now.
It's most definitely interesting. We have mostly cloudy skies, so we will see, as we have right now, quite some cloud coverage over the track. We have 79 Fahrenheit in the air, 89 right now on the track. It's actually fluctuating a little bit because of the cloud cover we have up right now. Winds from the southwest, 15 miles per hour, and that's gonna be interesting because these winds will affect these cars, especially through the kink, quite heavily because of how aero dependent they are.
Qualifying is underway. We can take a peek and see how this plays out. All right, now a driver that wasn't mentioned in the top or in the points is this guy, Antonio Poveda. He has been strong, and talk about a driver who has not had the results that he deserves. He's been fast. Let's see what he can do today as he's sitting at the top right now. We've seen him throw away a couple great performances.
At this point right now, I'm a little bit surprised that Thomas Seeger is only in 6th place right now. Nearly 1.2 seconds off the leader of Antonio Ortiz Poveda. So, yeah, he's a little bit underperforming in this case right now, as Chris Owen jumps up to 2nd position, about 4/10 behind Poveda.
Names that are not here: Mark Usher, one of them. Benefield did not show up. He's one of our winners as well. Right on board with our raw points leader, Xavi Ross, sitting in 4th right now.
And this is his last shot, coming over the hill up to the line. Very long way up to the line here. And there he goes, and it was not an improvement for him.
Looking at Thomas Noel. Another driver that has a win this season, Victor Prado's not here as well. So the only O that may go belongs to Usher, who is indeed 2-0. Now, our field, there was a great participation here today. There were 26 drivers that were ready to race. We were surprised to see it split, Steph. We thought the split was a little higher than it was, but I guess it must have been at 26.
Yeah, I don't know. All points are going towards 30 cars registered to split, so a bit surprised that it split at 26. Would have been an interesting race, but 13 should also be very interesting.
Everyone get a little more screen time here from our director. One of those being Andre Espinosa, who's slow.
I'm pretty sure everyone has put in their qualifying laps already, even though we still have a full minute to go.
Yeah. We have 13 drivers who qualified. Now, the starting differential, the lap differential, I'll give you the time of the pole sitter and then of the slowest qualifier. Antonio Pavedo put in a 1:34.3. Alex Straub put in a 1:36.3. So you can do the math. That is 2 full seconds around this 4-mile course. Marco Sanfilippo had a nice run as he sits in third. See if we have any familiar names down there. Stewie White in the number 12 car has been practicing, well, I want to say all morning. It's all morning for us on the west coast of the United States, but he's been there for a couple hours putting in some time.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick it up yet again. Thomas Zieger in 9th place with his number 8. I was talking about him because in the practice, or rather in the warm-up, he was in both sessions that he attended the fastest car, also faster than Antonio Ortiz Poveda. So I'm just going to guess that Seeger is just not able to put in the qualifying lap in the weather as we go into the sunny race now.
Look at that, how it got nice and sunny when it's time to go racing. Let's bring up our grid. We'll talk about it. We have a small field. We'll take it a row at a time, Steph. I'll take the front one. Antonio Poveda sits on the pole. He's going to be flanked by Chris Aoun.
Row 2 is marked down by Marco Sanfilippo and Xavi Ross.
In the 5th position, it's Erwin Woodstra. He's going to be inside of Stewie White in 6th.
Matt Wood, the number 1, sitting in 7th place. Alongside him, the number 7 of Thomas Noll.
All right, I have the driver who sits 3rd in the points in 9th. This is Thomas Zeiger. And then we have Kevin Jimenez, who sits 2nd in the points back in 10th. So a lot of points sitting back here in row number 5.
Milo Sanfilippo, the number 13 car, sits in 11th place. Alongside him, the new face of Andres Espinosa.
The Baker's dozen spot, 13th, Alex Straub. There you have it, 13 drivers as we take a little pass over them. You see Straub there in his yellow machine at the tail of the field. Beautiful blue skies with some puffy Wisconsin clouds as we race through the Wisconsin countryside. We have 31 laps on tap. We're going to look at a pit stop. Love that overhead shot. You can see them staggered in rows. The Williams engines begin to harmonize. You know what to do. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because 13 horses are out of the barn, and storming out of the barn is Antonio Poveda as he pulls away from the field. Back in 2nd, Chris Aoun is being challenged by Xavi Ross.
Matt Wood going wide, turn 1.
Wood had a peek, and we'll come back and look at it. He got a peek on the back of Stewie White. Oh, almost got into him.
Noll and who is that? Woodstra, both going super tight on turn 2, spinning both out there.
We'll come back and replay the first lap when the action allows right now. Poveda out in front. Aoun and Ross in a battle for 2nd. I haven't talked about the driver in 4th. That is Marco Sanfilippo. Rounding out your top 5 is Stewie White. Alex Straub, who started in 13th position, has already worked his way up into 8th thanks to the attrition that happened in front of him.
Yeah, and the same thing with Andres Espinosa from 12th up to 7th position. He had a blistering start there. Already jumped 2 rows actually up into turn 1. So yeah, Andres Espinosa with an incredible start to his race.
Some great side-by-side action right now as we're not looking at it, but it's 11th position. Wood in a battle with Woodstra. Wood gets the best of that one as these guys trying to make their way back up to where they qualified. We're going to have a lot of fast drivers trying to work their way through the field now. Look up front. Chris Aoun was able to get around Poveda. I thought Poveda was running away with this one. Poveda made a mistake. It was down in Canada corner, sure enough. He went wide. In fact, he almost lost the car. Aoun now in front, looking back at Poveda, who wants that back. Remember, Poveda, we talked about it before. He's really quick. The problem is he doesn't get the results he needs because he makes there's a mistake here or there. And there's one that he made on the very first lap. Plenty of time, though, for him to get the spots back. 30 laps still of racing.
It's the sad truth that Ortiz Poveda is facing a race in and race out. Always or big mistakes that do cost him his races. But maybe this time around he can stay incident-free or mistake-free for the rest of this race.
The front five are really close together. They start to pull away a little bit from Stewie White. In fact, Stewie White losing touch with the front four. And Thomas Ziegler is coming in sixth position, bringing Andres Espinosa with him. The interval between the two, you can see the gap. Just over a second. But Ziegler may need to worry not so much what's going on in his windscreen, but what's going on in his rearview mirror, as Andres Espinosa is just about 3 car lengths behind him. You'll see him come. There he is right there. That great paint scheme, though, that is so familiar of Ziegler. Here comes the pass. Boy, Ziegler really squeezes him. Espinosa was making a move on the outside. Ziegler came over and said, I'd like my widest entrance possible. He didn't push him off the track, but he might have scared Espinosa a bit. We'll stay on this battle as it's a good one. I'll just report that up front, Chris Aoun beginning to open it up on Poveda. We'll come in and check on that one in a minute. Right now, let's stay on this one. That battle with Espinosa has allowed Stewie White to open up about another half second between him and Thomas Ziegler. All right, Stefan back up front, this battle for third. As Xavi Ross being chased by Marco Sanfilippo. They come over the rolling tarmac. Love that shot as they come at you. That blue car up in front, that was Chris Aoun out of camera right now. You'll see him right there just making around the... There he is again, just going over the hills.
Yeah, and this battle for third place between Xavi Ross and Marco Sanfilippo, it's more story of Ortiz Poveda yet again making small little mistakes, backing his teammate into Sanfilippo, so he has to be careful what he's doing because he's putting Xavi Ross under unnecessary pressure. Oh!
Okay.
Sanfilippo completely missing his braking point, nearly torpedoing the back end of Xavi Ross there into the hairpin.
All right, we're going to take a quick replay on the... As things settle down a bit, let's go ahead and take a look at the first lap action here. We'll go back and show you this if the drivers will behave. We'll see if we can get this in. We'll start by looking at Wood, and then after Wood, we can go directly up to Thomas Noel, who made a mistake. So let's watch Wood here first as he's real careful not to get in the back of the car. And drives it off into the sand. Now if we can go up to Noel, it happens real soon. Noel makes a mistake. As we look on, we're going to look on Noel here. I think it's Noel that makes the mistake. I might have given the wrong car. Nope, there it is in front of them, the driver in front as well. So there you see them coming out. So that's what was going on early on.
And
Hey,
meanwhile,
Stewie White just had a spin.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we were on the replay. Stewie White had a mistake after hurry downs, spun it around on the throttle.
And we're going to come back and we're going to give you that replay. Stewie was racing in 5th position. He had practiced all morning long, all afternoon long. We race on board with White. Down here, he's right in this corner. Oops, maybe it's in Canada. Here we go. Yep. We must. So we're looking at Stewie White, because he's racing in 11th position right now. So this is corner 1. So we missed that one. So we missed that one. So White is back in 11th. So what does that mean for that battle now between Seeger and Espinosa? Well, Seeger has opened it up now almost 2 seconds. Espinosa made an attack on him, but was not able to keep it going. Okay. Now, we showed you Thomas Knoll having trouble early. He's now trying to get on the back of Matt Wood. These guys are chasing Stewie White, who also had an issue. So this is a fun little battle for 11th. White qualified in 6th. Wood qualified in 7th. Knoll qualified in 8th. Right now they race for 11th.
Yeah, and Knoll is just trying to come back through the field. He is struggling a little bit because he is not the fastest car in this field right now. Only about 6/10 faster than Matt Wood ahead of him. If he's trying to make something happen. No,
Sure was.
thanks, better fit.
As they go through 5, that is the action corner.
Matt Wood, though, he was forced into a mistake there. Goes way wide on the 90-degree corner. And sure enough, Thomas Knoll goes past.
Knoll gets him now. Knoll is going to move on up. There is a nice battle forming just ahead of these guys. And that's 8th position with Woodstra. And Straub is right behind him. Now, it won't be long until these guys that had issues get up there. Daniela Sanfilippo races in 10th. But White is on the move. Knoll, you just saw him get around Wood. He's on the move as well. That's going to be fun in a little while. All this going on behind Chris Aoun in the lead, who's trying to race away, but he's only about 7/10 of a second up on Poveda. We'll come back and check on the leaders here in a minute. The action is back in the back right now.
Oh, Straub in the wall, in the tire barrier, is completely stuck. He's done.
Boy, he was racing up in 8th position at the time. Boy.
It's quite interesting how this happened. It's very low RPMs and it just turns around. I'm just gonna guess he just completely floored the throttle there because it just looks like that. It's a bit too low for anything else in the RPMs to have caused that.
And now we come back live, and we see Straub in the pits. His day is done as there are no fast repairs here. He might want to come out, maybe try to vulture some points. Oh, a mistake from the leader! And there goes a pass. Antonio Poveda gave it away, and now he takes it back as Chris Aoun runs wide. He got there just in time.
And as we go into replay, you're gonna be able to see there, Soup, that he just a little bit too aggressive into the corner. There probably has still a little bit too much either speed or brake on and just loses the rear there, goes into the gravel trap. Nothing more happening than that. He lost the position to Ortiz Poveda. But yeah, no harm, no foul. It's now gonna be interesting though what Chris Aoun can do as he once again makes a mistake ahead of Xavi Ross.
Now that really exemplifies the dominance of Aoun and Poveda, who have both made pretty legitimate mistakes, but yet they still race in first and second. Zavi back there, Ross, your overall raw points leader, still in third, even with the mistakes that happened in front of him. But right now, he'd like to see if he can get around Ayun. I don't think so. Right on board with the Spaniard. Ross with about a second over Marco Sanfilippo, who races in fourth. Let's go back and check in on this battle we thought was going to heat up. This is for seventh. Jimenez sits second in the points right now. Here comes Woodstra right behind him.
Yeah, and they're both running up to Andres Espinosa, who has lost over the last 3 laps continuously 3/10 to everyone around him, so he's really hurting on his tires right now. He seems like he had abused his tires a bit too much and is suffering right now through the end of his stint here. And Jimenez, Woodstra, they're starting to fight, but they're closing in ever so slightly on Espinosa ahead of them. And if Espinosa isn't careful, he's going to lose 2 positions in just a matter of a few corners.
Well, Espinosa has done a real good job of keeping the car pointed in the right direction. He qualified 12th, so he doesn't really have the pace to race with the guys that are behind him, but he's just been keeping it clean. We have a mistake from Ross.
Yeah, Ross, Canada corner, throttled too much, was able to keep it out of the wall. Lost the position to Sanfilippo though, so he's racing now in 4th place.
We go down into Canada. He was racing in 3rd at the time. And this is yet another driver up front with a mistake. Boy, I'll tell you, Stefan, I've seen 3 mistakes that would have put me in the wall. Poveda, Ayun, and now Ross. So Marco Sanfilippo, another driver just keeping the car clean, now in a podium spot. We look back at Woodstra as he continues to chase Jimenez. And both of these guys are really closing in lickety-split on Espinosa in 6th.
Yeah, Woodstra already tried to make something happen into the 90-degree left-hander, but wasn't able to do so as Jimenez just way better on the brakes than him. But as you can see, and as we already mentioned, they're just closing in really fast now due to the draft on Andres Espinosa have them.
Yeah, we're going to stay on this one because the director and I are both thinking the same thing. This looks like this is going to be action. Continue to watch. And as I say that, you know what? Stewie White has had another issue. We don't need to go there. He was way in the back, but he's struggling.
That was very interesting to see there because Woodstra was closing in on Jimenez and ultimately took him into turn 1. But Jimenez wasn't closing into Espinosa at all. Just no straight line speed there in the draft. So Jimenez for sure running way too much downforce there to make anything happen on straights, and Woodstra utilizing a low downforce setup over the other 2, and he is now all over the back of Espinosa.
Right on board, looking at the action. There, he's taking a peek.
And you can just see how Espinosa and Jimenez are both doing way better through the carousel than Woodstra. But now once again a straight, and he's going left, he's going right. Oh!
My gosh.
How did Espinosa keep that car straight after Woodstra did connect with his rear there? I have no idea.
So all that hassling going on for 7th position has allowed Espinosa to pull away a bit. Remember, there are pit stops. We're working Lap number 11, 21 to go. Let's take a look at Thomas Knoll as he makes an assault. Or he's being attacked. No, he's working after Danilo Sanfilippo. The battle for ninth. They work through the action corner number 5. Now up into 6. Meanwhile, Woodstra and Jimenez are back on the tail. I think we need to go back up to 6th position. Espinosa's still out in front, but he's got 2 Hungary drivers behind him. And honestly, Andres, I'm not sure which driver's going to get to you first. It might be Erwin, but it might be Kevin as well, as those 2 guys are really working back for that.
Oh, Jimenez!
Yep. There it is. Jimenez makes a mistake. And now he falls into the Sanfilippo battle. We'll come back and look at it in a moment. Well, let's quickly go to 9th real quick, as this is side by side as Knoll taking a shot on Sanfilippo as they head down into the first corner. This all happened because of Jimenez being slow in front of him. He cannot make the move. Great racing going on.
Someone who was able to make the move though was Aaron Woodstra around the outside even before into the braking point of turn 1. He overtook Andres Espinosa, and he's starting to pull away from Andres Espinosa already.
Stewie White's had several issues. He's making a pit stop. I think this is a legitimate pit stop. I don't think he's hit anything. I think he's in there for fuel, but boy, he sure isn't having the race that he wanted. Look at this battle on screen right there.
Yeah, 2nd time in a row, Sanfilippo with a mistake through the 90-degree corner, just braking too late, completely going wide. They're opening the door for Thomas Knoll, who just wasn't able to accelerate better than Sanfilippo, so Sanfilippo stays in 9th position.
Jimenez begins to pull away from these guys after the mistake. He was right back with Sanfilippo and Knoll, and gave Knoll a chance. Go!
Something happened with Chris Owen through the carousel because Marcus Sanfilippo is now in 2nd position. Let's see if we can catch that. It was into the, out of the carousel.
Yeah, so
we are a bit too late here.
Back up one more time. We'll see him through the carousel. He went a little bit wide. Here we go.
Yeah, just watch it. You can hear the engine come up there, spool up, and he just loses it to the outside. It was actually a great reaction from Chris to keep it out of the wall, but he loses that position to Marcus Sanfilippo.
So another mistake. It was a mistake that cost Aoun the lead. It was a mistake that cost him 2nd position now. And now he's back in the clutches of Xavi Ross. Ross, of course, was racing in 3rd until he made a mistake. Oh, Xavi closes right up on the back of Aoun. I thought he was going to punt him. He has to avoid hitting him, and that cost him a lot of momentum through corner number 6.
They have to be careful though, because Thomas Ziegler, he's coming closer and closer to the battle of those 2 for P3. So if they fight for too long or too hard, Thomas Ziegler is going to be there in no time.
Do not need to go there. Stewie White has spun again. He's got to be getting close to the insert cap, is White, as he's had many off. Whew. So, let's catch our breath a minute. Antonio Poveda, 4 seconds ahead of Marco Sanfilippo. Sanfilippo has been perfect. He races in 2nd. 2 drivers who are probably faster than Sanfilippo back behind him. Chris Aoun, about 2 seconds back of 2nd place. Xavi Ross right behind him. And there you see in your screen, you see that little dot back there? That was Thomas Ziger. Ziger working qualified in 9th, up 4 spots. Again, he's been not really the fastest driver, but again, doing what he does. Inside the top 5.
You know, Soup, I'm actually not sure anymore if Marco Sanfilippo really is the slower car of the 3, because last lap he was a full second faster than the 2 behind him.
That's a good point. Boy, we're looking at this one here as we ride on board with Noel, who is being attacked by Danilo Sanfilippo. And while I thought that Kevin Jimenez was going to race away from these guys, he hasn't. I give up trying to figure out who's got the car working and who doesn't. Let's go up to 3rd. This is the battle that is for the most points. I thought Aoun would have a good run, but I think the car has gone away from him. Look at the run from Ross. He's a half car length back. He's alongside. Boy, he gets a good swing. He's going to have to do it on the outside of 1. They're going to be Cialis bathtubs down into the first corner. Ross is going to be on the outside. He's got to make it stick and hope to get some momentum.
Oh, net goat!
Streaking by as Thomas Ziger into 4th. We'll take a look at this from above. Woodstra picks up 5th. Xavi Ross finally gets it going in 6th. Good camera angle right here.
Very unfortunate there for Xavi Ross. The interesting part though was, as soon as he went out of the draft of Chris Aoun, he completely stalled out. He was only a single mile per hour faster into the braking zone of turn 1 than Chris Aoun.
Right on board with Xavi Ross, now trying to make up for yet another mistake. Work on the back of Erwin Woodstra. Only 13 cars in this field, but it has not been short of action. We've been able to find battles, and we've seen a plethora of mistakes from some top drivers.
Yeah, I'm starting to be sort of glad that we didn't get 26 cars
Right.
on the track today.
We have a legitimate stop from Matt Wood. He's in and out. We have 2 drivers that are out of the race, Stewie White and Alex Straub. 11 cars on track right now as we continue to watch this battle. Here he comes. Tuck into the inside. That's Xavi Ross. He wants his spot back. Didn't work for him on the outside last time. Let's see. Well, that's how we do it. We clear it before we get to 1.
Yeah, but once again he was completely stalled out there. Once he got alongside Aaron Woodstra, and Woodstra lifting off the throttle early to let Xavi Ross by. So he only got by because Aaron Woodstra allowed him to go by.
Right on board with Noel in 9th. Things settling down a little bit. He has a bad corner, number 5, loses a little down to Jimenez. Espinosa up in 7th.
Oh, and something happened to Danilo Sanfilippo because he's now in 10th position. But I think this happened already quite a bit ago on this lap. I'm trying to currently find it.
Not to be confused with Marco, who races in 2nd, as the Sanfilippos are always make a double appearance here in these events. Danilo started in 11th, racing now in 10th. And here's the relative. We'd like somebody should let us know if these guys are brothers, father and son, cousins, or just drivers who coincidentally have the same name. Big pit stop time coming in. Aoun is in. Woodstra, Espinosa, Jimenez, and Noel. The top 5 remain out. Pavetta, Sanfilippo, Seeger, Ross, and Danilo Sanfilippo was able to come around these guys. Now they roll. As expected, one is out first.
Oh, actually a bad stop by Jimenez. He's under attack by Knoll through the pit lane. They were side by side.
Jimenez was ahead of Knoll when they came in. He comes out ahead of Knoll, but only by a few. What will be interesting is when Jimenez and Knoll pit to see how they fare in relationship to well, I guess Espinosa pitted as well, so Espinosa made a stop. He comes out in front of him. So all the guys in the back that were racing have made their stop.
Alright, well, let's have a look at the fastest pit stop to this point. The fastest pit stop award goes out to the pit crew, Erwin Woodstraw, with a full 8-second stop. That's half a second faster than anyone else on the track right now.
Here he is, Antonio Pavetta. We talked about drivers that have been undefeated so far. Well, Pavetta has not. He's been here. He's been ready to win. He could be undefeated. He's given a couple away. Let's see if he can get this one home. He deserves the win. He will be our 5th different winner if that is the case. Let me correct myself. 4th different winner.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he had the chance to win at the Nürburgring already,
yeah,
but threw it away into the inside wall there quite spectacularly, I have to add. So let's see if he can stay up front. If he can keep it clean this time, he is incident prone, so Pavetta, just keep it on the bike stuff and you're gonna win it this time around.
Let's go to 9th real quick. Jimenez is getting gobbled up. There comes the pass by Thomas Knoll. Down into corner number 1. We'll come back and look at it in a minute. We'll see if Jimenez comes back on it. Remember, Kevin Jimenez racing in 10th position that just got passed by Thomas Knoll. He's 2nd in your points.
Oh, and your leader, Antonio Ortiz Pavetta, is in pit lane right now.
As here comes the rest, Sanfilippo comes in as well. So does that mean that we have ourselves a new leader? Am I going to think that... nope, because Seeger is coming in, Ross is coming in too.
Let's see, Sanfilippo also pits in, so this is as far as they can go today.
So the real excitement is going to be Chris Aoun now down into Canada. I think Pavetta should get out in front of him. And I think Marco Sanfilippo will get out in front of him, but then we'll see how this plays out. Aoun out of the final corner. Pavetta is rolling. Sanfilippo is rolling. That one we expected. Now it's these next guys. He spins it in the pit lane. And Zaviras gets past as Aoun goes by. Let's look at the German driver as he's going to lose a position to Erwin Woodstraw when it's all said and done.
Well, that's a mistake you don't see very often from the German driver there. Just out of the pit box, just completely lights up his rear tires and spins himself out.
And then as he gets out, Erwin Woodstraw goes by, so that's 5th position for him, but Seeger should be faster, so we'll see if that can close that gap down. It's 1.5 seconds. Let's go to 8th position. Oh my goodness, this is Knoll coming back on Espinosa. Look at in front. This is a great battle. This is Danilo Sanfilippo in 7th, Espinosa, Knoll, and Kevin Jimenez, who's back in 10th.
Yeah, and Espinosa, they're a bit harsh on defending his position of 8th place right now, because Knoll tried to attack him down the straight into turn 5, and Espinosa just completely shoved him off the track into the grass.
Now they head down into Canada. A battle for 7th. Pavetta, all this going on, 4.2 seconds is the lead to Pavetta. We do not need to go there. We're going to ride on board with the driver in 9th, Thomas Knoll. We're going to look ahead at Espinosa, and you can see Sanfilippo right around Espinosa's car. Here comes the run as he's coming in. He gets to the inside, going down into 1. Now let's see who's going to play chicken. And sure enough, oh, they almost get touched there. Espinosa gave Knoll the room. Knoll came up in front of him, almost chopped the nose off of Espinosa. That allows Jimenez to get back in the mix, move Knoll up into 8th. He's got about a second to get up to Danilo Sanfilippo.
Espinosa is coming back though around the outside. He tries to do it into turn 5, not going to be able to do so. Holds him up. Jimenez is not able to benefit from that. He tried, but Espinosa closed the door as soon as he saw Jimenez trying to stick his foot into it.
That's good news for Sanfilippo, who drives away as the defensive line that Knoll had to take cost him some time on the track. Espinosa loses a little bit of momentum as they work through the carousel. This might be an opportunity for Jimenez. The setups that they have on the car are so important. Some cars are faster through the twisty sections. Some cars have the straight line speed. We continue to watch this battle. I'll tell you right now that Seeger has not been able to close on Woodström. The drivers up front seem to be comfortable in their positions right now. This is where the action is. They separate out a little bit now as they get some space.
Interesting to watch the draft of these cars, because Espinosa not closing in whatsoever on Thomas Knoll, and Jimenez only ever so slightly closing in on the car of Espinosa. So Espinosa and Jimenez are both running quite some downforce on their cars, but Jimenez ever so slightly less than Espinosa.
You're looking at drivers here racing, Espinosa and Jimenez, both with I ratings. Espinosa's at around 4,000. Jimenez is around 5,000. So these guys, this is no slouches racing here. These guys are tough customers. In fact, the strength of field in this event is going to be really high. It's going to be big points for all these driving.
Yeah, it's nearly 3.8k iRating SOF, and Danilo Sanfilippo proving that iRating does not mean anything, because his iRating sits at 2,879. So if he's gonna stay like this, he's gonna gain quite some iRating from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Good battle going on here between Espinosa and Jimenez. Xavi Ross has run down Chris Ayoun. Remember, after the pit stops, Ayoun was well out in front. He has been closing on him, and now here is your overall raw points leader, just a car length behind Chris Ayoun, with some momentum. As they come down into the passing zone of 5, ducking to the inside is Xavi Ross. Boy, he is in prime position right now. There's no way that Ayoun is going to be able to have anything for him. Give that position to the Spaniard, Xavi Ross, up into 3rd. Ayoun led some laps. Made a couple mistakes to fall back, and now he finds himself in 4th. And that is why Antonio Poveda, who's up by 5.5 seconds on Marco Sanfilippo, is not home free. He still has 10 laps to go. That's 40 miles of racing. Plenty of time for a mistake to be made.
Alright, interesting development for the battle of P7, which is starting to split up a little bit into 2 packs of 2 cars. Thomas Knoll trying to chase down Danilo Sanfilippo, and then we have to fight between Espinosa and Jimenez, where Jimenez is trying to lock down the inside of Canada corner, but no door is opening for him yet again.
Yeah, we'll stay on this battle. I think Knoll, without Espinosa on his gearbox, has a chance to get up to Sanfilippo. We'll keep an eye on this one. This is where the action is, as Jimenez continues to pester Espinosa. These guys go at each other. As they go down into one, you can see Jimenez in the draft closing. He's going to be too far back to make an attack, but he gets to within 1 car length. Now they get to the technical section. Next passing opportunity will be down into corner number 5. That's going to be coming up next. He's about 3 car lengths back and does not have the speed right now to get up there unless he really wants to dive it in. Here he comes, though. Espinosa is going to leave the inside open, and he got there, and the pass was made. What do I know, Soup? Well done.
Yeah, Jimenez, it's kind of interesting how his car just doesn't pull at all until he gets super close to the rear of Espinosa, and then he just, as always, super late on the brakes. I think he's one of the latest drivers in this series with his brake application, and once again it shows as he makes that pass into 9th position. The development ahead between Knoll and Sanfilippo also is a little bit interesting, because Thomas Knoll was closing in on Danilo, but Danilo last lap 4/10 faster than Knoll, and it looks like that Knoll this time around was able to keep the pace of Sanfilippo.
I think Knoll is coming. Jimenez now ahead of Espinosa. We'll keep an eye on that one. I don't think those guys are done. And Knoll continued to trying to close in on the back of Danilo Sanfilippo. Knoll qualified in 8th, racing in 8th, would like to pick up 1 spot.
Yeah,
Sanfilippo 11th up to 7th, and he's just been keeping the car going straight.
Pretty much what I expected happened. Thomas Knoll this time around 3/10 faster than Sanfilippo. They're give and take right now. Either Danilo is faster, then Knoll is faster, Danilo is faster, Knoll is faster, and it just keeps going like that. But Knoll is gradually, ever so slightly, 100th by 100th, closing in on the back of Sanfilippo.
Yeah, that battle now actually closer, well, as close as Jimenez and Espinosa. The gap between the 2 cars, the two-car battles, about 3 seconds. So Sanfilippo and Knoll quicker than Jimenez and Espinosa. With 7 laps to go, let's run you through the field real quick. This is Antonio Poveda. 6 seconds up. As we put the camera on it, he makes a little mistake. And now that gap, which was just 6 seconds, is now down to 4.9. You can see the car that is chasing him in the background, Marco Sanfilippo. 5 seconds up to Poveda, 6 seconds back to our raw points leader, Xavi Ross, who races in 3rd.
Yeah, and you can say what you want, the Palermitani car of Sanfilippo, that's by the way how you call the people of Palermo. It is gradually closing in on pretty much nobody, because he is in such a no man's land that all he has to do is just keep it clean, and I'm pretty sure Xavi Ross will not catch him.
Here's the driver in 4th, Chris Aoun. Ross beginning to drive away after it got past. Aoun racing in 4th, had a taste of the lead for a while. But only, well, about 2 seconds back, we get to Erwin Woodstrup. He qualified in 5th, racing in that spot right now. Again, no real battle here, as you got to go back to the German driver of Thomas Seeger. Working his way through Canada.
I have to quickly jump in yet again, I'm sorry,
Yep.
as Espinosa tried to overtake Jimenez back, and it was actually a 3-turn battle between the two, as... Oh!
Got him!
Speaking about it, Jimenez just makes another mistake here. The first battle was starting out of turn 3 all the way through turn 7, and Jimenez was able to prevail.
Let's go to 6th real quick. Here comes Knoll making the move on the outside of Sanfilippo. So these two battles that we've been watching heat up.
Oh!
And they touch! Nola's off in the sand. Can he get it going back? Yeah, he has enough cushion that he'll get whacked well in front of the battle behind. We'll take another look at this one as, once again, we see a pass into one, Stefan, that just doesn't quite go right.
Yeah, Sanfilippo just, I don't know, a little bit like on the brakes, carrying too much speed, and yeah, just kicks Noel a bit wide there into the gravel trap, but Noel able to keep the car under control and just is back on the plastic. Oh, Noel makes a mistake though now! Spun it around, both Jimenez and Espinosa go past. He is now in 9th position.
Doesn't hit anything, and boy, he had the car perpendicular on the track, got it in first gear, and rolls it out of the way of the two cars that are coming of Espinosa and Jimenez. It looks like corner 6, if I'm looking at that right.
Yes, indeed, just gets too wide onto the grass, spins it around, able to avoid the inside wall. And yeah.
Alright, so now we go back to this battle between Espinosa and Jimenez. Sanfilippo and Noel were so far ahead of these guys until Noel made not just, well, he got pushed off when he made contact with Sanfilippo, and then he made a self mistake. So now Noel races back in 9th position. These guys are now battling for 7th. And it's been Espinosa and Jimenez, Jimenez and Espinosa and Jimenez, depending when you check in on them. I don't think they're done swapping spot. 5 to go. Great camera shot on the gearbox there, looking back. He is right there. Jimenez now down into 6. Gets a good drive out of 6. If he can stay close through this section, he'll have a run through the carousel. They'll fly through the kink. Passing opportunity will be Canada. A good run from Jimenez here. He's now 2 car lengths back. He's weaving back and forth like a drunken sailor, trying to find a way around. Not going to get it done here, but if he can stay close enough, next opportunity will probably down into corner number 1, but he loses a lot of time out of Canada.
Yeah, Jimenez is really trying everything he can to get past Espinosa, but he's just not having, I would honestly say he's just not having the right setup today, because he's just not closing in enough, early enough, to get anything done on the streets against Espinosa.
I think he's good under braking. I think he's good through the technical section, so that would mean corner 5 might play into his advantage here, because he's really good through this corner. He has a shot if he really wants to force the issue, dive it down into 5, but man, he's a long way back. This would really be a dive bomb if he does it here. That's what I said last time when I saw the pass made, but I don't think he's going to get there right now as he's well too far back.
Yeah, exactly, but you were able to see that he closed up about 3-4 car lengths just in the braking zone, and that's exactly what Kevin is just so incredibly strong about. He can make dives from 2-3 car lengths back, and he is not gonna run you off the road because he's actually gonna be able to stop the car in time.
Now through the carousel, and that's why you saw Jimenez weaving the car back and forth, because I think he knew the car wasn't going to go anywhere on the straight line. He's closer this time than he was last time through the kink. He is closer now down into Canada. This is the closest I've seen him been in the straightaway. But again, he doesn't even stay in the draft of Espinosa. Better out of Canada than he was before. Keep an eye on this battle. I'll tell you that Chris Aoun, who races in 3rd position, Now only has a 1 second gap on Woodster. We'll check in on that one in a minute. Let's stay on this one a bit more as we go to 3 to go. All right, now, this time Jimenez is closer. Look for the pass to be made down into 5. Much closer than he was last time. He's only about 2 car lengths back. It was about 4 car lengths last time. Let's see if Jimenez forces the issue under braking. He's got time. It's down to 1 car length. He peeks to the inside. He's really going to have to force the issue. He doesn't. No defensive line from Espinosa. Again, right on the gearbox is Jimenez now through this technical section. Ioun's lead continues to shrink. It's now down to 0.8 of a second as Woodster is coming, but he's running out of laps. We ride on board with Jimenez. Working through the carousel. Now this is where Jimenez has not been good. No chance here. The car just won't go. These guys race about 5 seconds ahead of Thomas Knoll. Danilo Sanfilippo has pulled away. It's a 6 seconds gap to get up to them. Woodstra, who was on the back of Ioun, is now 7 seconds back.
You know, I saw some marks out of the second last turn, and sure enough, it was Woodstra who spun it to the inside there and didn't touch anything, but that battle for P3 is broken up.
I don't think we need a replay of this one, but we can just comment that Woodstra was one of the drivers who has been clean. Well, welcome to the family of drivers who've made mistakes so far. 2 to go. We go back to Espinosa. Jimenez was not close enough. Boy, right there through 5.
And once again, I did speed trap both Espinosa and Jimenez, one time into Canada corner, this time into turn 5. And both times Kevin Jimenez was only within 2 miles per hour of the speed of Espinosa ahead, so he was only 2 miles per hour faster than Espinosa, and that is just not enough to make anything happen right now.
This is the closest Kevin has been through the kink, but again, I just don't think his car is going to go anywhere. Let's see, right now he should be closing much quicker. Oh, way to close! Whoa! He can't keep it.
I think even Kevin Jimenez was surprised about that as he cranked the steering wheel to right there to get out of the back of Espinosa. How he made that turn is beyond me, though.
That was some great... That's got to have Espinosa thinking now as they get into 5 if he's going to try that again there. We are on the last lap. We'll stay on this battle for a minute. Our leader just getting into the carousel right now. Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to cover this battle as these guys are about 38 seconds behind the leader. Down into corner number 5. Jimenez has nothing for Espinosa. Our leader out of Canada, Antonio Paveda, looking to become our 4th different winner this season in 5 events. The final corner, nothing between him and the checkered flag. Let's get round number 5 of the 2019 Spring Season Championship of the Batteries Not Included Series to Antonio Paveda. Marco Sanfilippo will come home comfortably in 2nd. Everybody should be safe all the way through. Let's go back and look at Espinosa. Here's the battle for 7th position. Here comes Jimenez. We saw this before. He's good under braking. This time he gets it in there. He doesn't dive it so deep. Taking the wide line as Espinosa. I don't know if there's going to be enough time now for Jimenez to get there. The start-finish line is going to come. Here he comes alongside. He proves the commentator wrong again as they are side by side out of the final corner. But the momentum will go to the driver on the wide side. Andres Espinosa is going to hold off Kevin Jimenez at the line. He's making one last step, but he's going to run out of time. Woo. Thomas Knoll comes across, and there is one more driver still out there racing. Matt Wood comes across in a 10th position on the lead lap. The field was small, but the action was big. You're watching the Global SimRacing Channel on the iRacing Esports Network. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back to run down the finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far. Streaming cyberspace into your place via the iRacing Esports Network. You're watching the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the 2019 Spring Season Championship of the Batteries Not Included. Round number 5 here from Road America. The results are in. Let's run down the finishing order right now. Well, if you just looked at the box score, he started on the first position. He comes home in first position, but it was far from wire to wire from Antonio Poveda as he gets his first win of the season. Marco Sanfilippo, who's been racing up front all season long, gets his best finish so far this season with the second. Chris Ayoun was fast, but he made too many mistakes. Fell all the way back, I think, as far as 5th, but mistakes from drivers all around him. He'll get the final podium spot. Ern Woodstra had a chance at that 3rd position until a late mistake cost him any chances of that. He sits in 4th. Thomas Seeger, we thought he'd be quick. He's doing what he's doing. Just gets a 9th place grid, picks up a 5th place finish, and that's why he sits so far up in the points. Danilo Sanfilippo was able to hold off the battle behind him from all the guys who were charging. Stefan, who you got in 7th?
Andres Espinosa is your driver in 7th position, but only just over the car of Kevin Jimenez in 8th place. Only 6/1000ths of a second made the difference between Espinosa and Jimenez. Thomas Knoll sits in 9th place. Matt Wood, the last car, finishing this race in 10th place. Xavi Ross, the first car, 7 laps down, not finishing this race. Stu White same here, 19 laps down in 12th, and Alex Straub, 21 laps down in 13th.
All right, I have the honor and pleasure to talk to our race winner here, and it is going to be Antonio Poveda. Antonio, my heart broke there for a minute. I thought you were going to throw another race win away. You've thrown away a couple times this season, but you got it back.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I thought it too. When I was in the middle of the spin, I was thinking, I can't believe this is going to happen again. But yeah, I controlled it and managed to keep going forward, and everything turned out to go pretty well.
Yeah, you talk about controlling it. I think that was one of the key points that Steph and I were making. There were a lot of mistakes from drivers up front, but they were able not to turn it into a disaster. They take a disaster and just maybe cost them a few seconds, maybe a few positions. We saw so many mistakes from top drivers. Was the track, it was hard to drive, or was everybody just pushing?
It was totally the track. I've practiced a lot in this track during this week. I've done like 5 more races or 3 more races. I don't know how many. And the track this particular time, it was really difficult. There was lots of tire wear, and which hasn't happened during the week. And I don't know. The weird thing is that the track was pretty quick compared to other races. But it was at the same time it was pretty slippery, so I don't know. It was pretty tricky. But my mistake was only because of touching the grass when I broke, not because of the track.
We saw drivers that could run the same lap time, and it was clear that they have different setups. So some drivers were good through the technical section and had no straight line speed. Other drivers struggled through the twisty parts, but could really get the car to go when they could open it up. How did you play yours? Were you a heavy downforce guy, or were you light downforce, somewhere in the middle?
I'm usually a heavy downforce guy because normally nearly everyone goes with high downforce, some with more, some with less. But I like to have high downforce because it's a really tricky car, and when you get downforce out of the car, braking starts to be really difficult. And we will see that in Monza, where we all have to go with low downforce, and braking is really really difficult. And you start the straight so much faster with high downforce then it doesn't pay off when you're at the end of the straight. That is when going with low downforce is better. So yeah, you maybe go out of the corner 20 kilometers per hour faster, and then you arrive 10 kilometers per hour slower at the end of the straight. But it totally pays off to go with high downforce, at least for me.
That's why we bring you in here, to get those kind of insights. Hey, congratulations on the win. Hope to see you down the rest of the way. Remember, there are drop races, so as long as you can show up for 8 of these, you got a chance at the championship.
Thanks, I'm going to try to be as many races as I can. And right. Thanks to my team and the sponsors also. I want to thank them for the support.
You got it. Antonio Poveda, your race winner today. Congratulations. Steph, who you got?
Well, catching up with Erwan Woodstraw, who had the chance of a fabulous 3rd place over Chris Owen, but sadly throwing it away on the last few laps of this race. Erwan, how did this race feel to you?
Awesome. Big comeback for me after I had my incident on lap 1. Got stuck behind, I don't know which car, for a couple of laps, which didn't help. And in the end, I closed up to him. Was about 1 second behind, and the backhand just went in not the penultimate corner, but the corner before that, the left-hander.
Yeah, you were saying it there. That lap 1 incident really did shake up your race, but what a comeback there from you. Like pretty much second to last up to 4th place. Still is a very good comeback, even though only 19 seconds back on Antonio Ortiz Poveda. How were you tackling this racetrack downforce-wise? Were you on the higher side or on the lower side of the downforce?
I think I was on the lower side, because every time I got behind someone, they were just lacking in pace. I was like 4 tenths behind, and if they didn't have slipstream, I could overtake them. And if they were, like, if it was swapped, they wouldn't even gonna get closer to me. Yeah, maybe a tenth or two, but not more. So I was running pretty low downforce, I think. And through the high-speed sections, I could really tell. Because I was gonna lose like 3 tenths over there, but I just make it back up on the straights, which was like half a second to a second-ish. And that's how I was able to keep up with these guys and overtake them.
Well, different philosophies, same outcome. And now, next up, if I heard right, we're going to Monza. So how are you tackling that one?
Same as always done. Practice, get a good result, try and qualify good. Don't screw it up on the first lap again. And the suspension is going to be weird there because of the second chicane curbs. Might see a couple of people going free wheels.
Actually, we're going to circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So, bit of a different circuit than Monza, but still a lot of chicanes.
Lovely circuit, to be honest.
Yeah,
the only problem I have there is maybe the World Champions. Hope I don't hit that. If I do that, would it equal that I'm a champion then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I might do it then. Might do it.
Well, Erwan, as always, great to talk with you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for the great show you put on today for the viewers and us up here in the booth. And Soup is now going to talk with Kevin Jimenez.
Erwan makes a good point. I mean, if you're going to crash into a wall, at least name it the Wall of Champions. It feels like you've accomplished something. All right, let's go ahead and talk with Kevin Jimenez, who sits well up in the points. In fact, Kevin, I believe, sits second in the points. But boy, you struggled with pace today, Kevin.
Yeah, I struggled quite a bit. Yes, I had not very much practice as I wanted, but yeah, at least I had a lot of fun fighting in the last laps. I will take that.
I'll say you had some fun. You took our breath away down into Canada, one of those closing laps where you took it in so deep and just couldn't get it wound up. You had to give the spot back.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to overtake. It wasn't my intention at all. I was waiting for the last laps to attack, but when I saw I lost completely my reference and my braking point, and then I don't know. I just went for it. I lost my reference point. Then I was like, okay, I hit the guy in front, or I do an epic overtake, or I don't know what will happen, but I will go for it. And that happened.
Tell me, I want you to correct me if I'm not on base on this one, but watching you race, we thought that you might be faster through the technical section. Maybe you were running a little more downforce than Espinosa. You'd close up on him. You have a real shot at 5. But when it came to Canada or down into corner 1, it was hard for you to be close enough to make the pass.
Yes, I had a little bit more of downforce because everyone, I think everyone was racing with the Road America setup. And I was a little bit sneaky there, and I went for the Suzuka one. And I was racing with the setup from the last week because I was feeling more comfortable and more aero, and Suzuka has a big straight also, so I was feeling better with that one. I was making better times on practice with that one, so I went with the Suzuka one.
Yeah, I think you were probably faster. The problem was you just couldn't get around. You couldn't get around Espinosa to take advantage of it. Man, it was fun to watch you race. You're having a great season. Keep it up. You're doing well in the points, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, let's see. It was being an amazing championship. I'm having so much fun, learning a lot. I take this season as learning, as it's my first season in this championship. So yeah, we've been second in the points. It's amazing. Let's see next week how it's my position. As I expect to lose a little bit of points here in this race, but I will try to fight back in Gilles Villeneuve.
Before we go, we'll get you out on this. What part of Spain are you from?
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Wow. Hey, I know where that is. That's a real part of Spain. That's a part everyone should know. Hey, congratulations on the getting to the end at least today as you pick up an 8th place finish and a few more points for the championship.
Thank you so much. It was hard to finish because I had a contact with the wall. I don't think you saw that on stream, but I lost the car in that place, in that exact place when I dive bombed in the last laps. I lost the car there in before my pit stop, and I touched the wall. So I was expecting not to have much damage, but I was very lucky there.
Well, you made the broadcast fun to watch. Congratulations. There you have it. And that is Kevin Jimenez, 8th place today, sitting second in the points coming into this event. That's going to wrap it up for us here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We'd like to thank everybody at the Williams racing community, especially Clayton McLeod, for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. On screen now are just some of the companies and equipment that we use to bring this, cyberspace into your place here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Additional thanks to June Lalonde, who provides our wonderful music. See the screen to how to get a hold of more of her great work. The Batteries Not Included will return in 1 week. That's going to be Easter Sunday for round 6 from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. GSRC and IESN will be there to bring you the action. We hope you join us. Next up on IESN will be our stablemates at RaceBots coverage of the Logical Classic IndyCar Series. That's going to be round 3 from Barber. That'll be fun. Coverage goes live at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to find out more about us, GSRC, go to Global SimRacing Channel, Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Gram. All the upcoming races for our other series are listed on the screen right now, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar so you don't miss a second of exciting racing. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by heading over to our YouTube page and hit that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Stefan, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank you for watching as we watch Antonio Ortiz Poveda pick up the first win of the season for him here at Road America. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.